This is Nicholas Linares, Coyote Chronicle 243A. What process did you go through to produce each piece of publication in the Chronicle? Well, for me, I think a big process of my writing was going and just making these events part of my lifestyle, making sure to integrate these things into my life. So as I go to write the articles, I'm speaking also out of just exhilarance and passion for the thing that I've attended, and I'm seeing it through a different eye because now I'm reporting on the night, the event, the artist, whatever it is that I'm actually coming to observe and write about. Have you ever done a similar kind of work in the past? If yes, how have you built upon your previous experience? I think the other things that I've done in the past was Abstract Empire back in 2013. We did a video series interviewing artists, musicians, and athletes. However, that was on camera, but we did do a print format for a while. That piqued my interest until I got into Com 240 and the writing for news and media. I was able to figure out the perfect conditions that were needed to be able to create a newsworthy story and how to write that. So that's what really got me into wanting to write for media and that side of public relations. What would you suggest to new Coyote Chronicle staff writers? In what ways do you think they can achieve this success? I think that all the new staff writers that come in need to go out into the real world and experience life. Go to events, whether they're for your age bracket or find something that fits it. Experiencing real life in the Inland Empire where you live, there's so much going on. There's always an event. People are doing so much in this county. And to be able to sit between these two counties and call it the Inland Empire is a powerful thing. Downtown Riverside has something going on every night for arts and entertainment. You can go to a community outreach program in any of the surrounding cities, especially in San Bernardino. There is blooming news happening all the time, but people aren't out there reporting on it. So I think that the new staff writers should take that into their hands. Don't focus on just the things that are happening at the campus because those are cool, but that's also not real life for most of the people. If we want to capture a bigger audience, yes, the people that attend this school, it's a great audience for us. But let's go outside that and let's see if we can get people outside of our boundaries reading this paper because people are talking about it. I think that would be a powerful thing. How do you feel about your work in the Chronicle? What parts of it do you particularly like or dislike? Why and what did you enjoy about this work? I felt pretty positive about my work in the article. I felt like coming in there and not understanding I was working for the newspaper was a big aha moment. I had the opportunity to leave, but I thought I would try it out. I knew I needed the course as well, so that definitely convinced me to stay. But I was more than happy once I did. To be able to understand what it's like to work for a newspaper and be held accountable for writing on a weekly basis and being able to create a lifestyle around that was very powerful for me. So sometimes I see it was hard for other people to go out and find these events and do things because outside of the life that they live. Well, I feel like the stories that I was able to incorporate were a part of my life and things that gave me a better excuse to go experience them. So experience is everything. I think that this class was a good learning experience to understand how a newspaper could work, how it does work, and maybe how it should work. And those are powerful things to understand too. You see all different levels of personality and intellect and leadership. So it's very fun to be around something like that and see the different traits that come out in people. I would say dislike would be some of the management. And I understand that some of the people that were thrown in as editors, it's probably really difficult to do. And that job itself would be strenuous on the person that also had a full workload and school load and things like that. So I think better communication would be a positive thing, and to see people be more involved with their writers, editors specifically. Be involved with the writers and get closer to them and build a relationship. What was especially satisfying to you about either the process or the finished product? I think the process was more satisfying to me because the end product was that little bit of accomplishment and seeing that you were a part of something bigger than yourself, but going through it and being in the moment is definitely one of the most powerful things that I can say about my experience. In what ways did you work differently? Well, I think some of my work became part of my life, and because it became part of my life, it wasn't something that I had to dig so deep, and it was difficult, and I stayed up late at night because I was forcing myself to finish this assignment. It came very natural to me, felt like something that I can and am living. Felt like just another part of my life, and like I said, having to be accountable for that piece of writing each week, it got me to socialize on a different level. It got me to ask questions on a different level, and I was proud to do something like that on the behalf of the Chronicle. If someone else was looking at your piece, what might they learn about you and who you are? Well, I think people would see that I'm pretty active around the tattoo community and know several artists that I like to give them the ability to display their work and show people that behind every tattoo is a real true artist that has a desire and passion to do something that not many people can do. And to be able to find and cultivate that talent into tattooing is a very powerful thing. And I like to write about those things because it shines light on the elegant artwork that you see on the canvas as a body. And it's a very fascinating thing for me. So I think people would really learn that about me once they associate those. They can see what kind of stories I write about, concerts, music, some alternative kind of things. So I think people would understand once they met me and they saw my writing, okay, that's Nick Lawrence. Thanks everybody, and Professor Bittelman, I hope that you enjoyed some of my pieces and enjoyed my writing. I hope to stay in contact with some of you in the future, and I hope to be able to offer the opportunity for internship as soon as possible. Thanks guys.